Hi, my name is Chris. I'm going to teach you how to do macerated fruits with lemon sugar for our breakfast offerings. So I have an 8-quart full of our local peaches. I've already made up some lemon sugar, and you'll have to follow the recipe to see how that's made. I have my salt, a mixing bowl with a scale. So I've already pre-cut some peaches, so I'm just going to show you how to cut 1 or 2, and we'll make the rest of the recipe. So your peaches, when they're local and ripe, they're really soft. So what I don't want you to do is cut around the core and then twist off the fruit, because you'll make it mushy every single time, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the knife that's just directly off the core, and you'll see where the core kind of rises up on a ridge and then comes back around, and you're going to put your knife just inside that ridge and you're going to cut straight down. Now if you hit something like I did, I'm just going to turn my knife a little bit like this to go around the core, and if I'm too far inside, I can just bring my knife back up and go over 1/4 inch. So I just hit the core a little bit, and I'm going to bend my knife out and go around it, and I got a nice segment there. So I'm going to turn my peach 1/4 turn. I'm going to repeat that process and bring my knife just where that ridge is and come straight down. 1/4 turn again. Hit the core, came around. 1/4 turn again and come straight down. Now from there, I'm going to take my knife and maybe cut about 1/2 inch from the bottom, and you'll feel that core if you're too high. So I'll just go around. And same with the top. If you cut it just right, you'll get 1/4 inch off the top and leave the stem intact there. Now from here, you have a core with a little bit of fruit. You could run your knife over it, and if they're more of just pieces that don't look very attractive, you can save this for peach soda, right? So we'll be cutting a bunch of peaches, and you'll have a lot of that extra trim left over. Now from here, I want to cut these into 1/4 inch dice. Now if the peaches are really, really big, you might need to take your knife and cut this segment in half this way, and then cut them into 1/4 inch strips and 1/4 inch dice. All right. You be very careful not to bruise the fruit. All right, so from here I'll cut that in half because it's very thick. 1/4 inch slices, 1/4 inch dice. And that's my bottom nub. I'll just cut that into quarters, and same with that top piece. Now if it gets kind of mushy, we'll put it in my soda pile. All right, so from here, I'm adding my cut peaches to my bowl, which I'm weighing out according to the recipe. So I have my lemon sugar here. I'm going to measure out my salt. I'm going to put that in my lemon sugar. I want to mix that in here because it's going to help disperse it a little bit better before you put it into your peaches. So from here, I'm going to add my sugar and gently toss it. So when I put my fingers in here, I want to treat my fingers like forks. And I want to get around the corners and gently get underneath it and toss it very gently. What you don't want to do is mash the fruit so it loses its shape, right? You want to be very, very careful with this. Now when the peaches are fresh, they'll macerate really quickly. So you could literally make this recipe and they'll be ready to eat in little as 30 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes. But you don't want to make these too far in advance. So I'd say 36 to 48 hours is the most you want to let it macerate. So you should be making these every single day. From there, we'll put these back into a 6-pan or 3rd pan, depending on how many times the recipe you're making for your restaurant. Enjoy, guys.